is Josee from stampingjoe.com, and welcome to this month's Stamping 411. With this particular card, I used Let It Ride, and it's this beautiful stamp set with lots of beautiful horse images and some really nice greetings. To make this card, I used 3 pieces of cardstock. So I have Old Olive cut to 5.5 by 8.5 and then scored in the middle. Early Espresso, I cut to 4 inches by 5.25, and then I used the stitched rectangle that was 2 5/8 by 4, and a Whisper White that is about 3 3/4 by 5. So I used the Memento Tuxedo Black ink on my horse, and usually when I have a stamp that's bigger, especially with a little Memento one, I use the ink to the stamp just to make sure that it's fully inked everywhere. And then we're going to stamp that about here. Give it nice even pressure so that you have the whole horse done. Isn't that pretty? To stamp the greeting, I actually took my frame and just placed it on top of where it was going to go, just to kind of eyeball better where that greeting is going to be. So I'm using my Early Espresso ink pad and just stamping the For You in that top left corner. The top 2 colors that I used for the horse is the light crumb cake and the bronze blends markers. And so I took my crumb cake and I actually colored the whole horse using that color first. Once I got that color done, I actually used my Calypso Coral, the dark one, just to add a little bit of highlight colors. And then I'm going to blend them in right after. So right now it kind of looks funny, like a little hot mess, but we're going to blend that in. So I'm using my bronze to just go over some of the lines here and to blend. And then I can take my light crumb cake and start to add a little bit of the light on top. Once I finished coloring the horse, I actually took my smoky slate and just colored his little feet like that. I'll just add a little bit dark. Next, I used my Old Olive blends to color in that grass, and I brought it up to where the horse would be standing, so I just give it a little bit of extra grass around. And then you take your darker one and you can add a little bit of that coordinating color, and then go back and blend with your lighter color again. Next, I took back my frame and I used some of our Nature's Twine. You can see this is like a thicker baker's twine basically, and it comes in 4 different colors, the pack, but I just used the crumb cake one. And I'm just going to tie a little knot around the left-hand side of my frame, just to kind of make it look a little bit more like a cowboy rope. So you can see that I didn't really center my horse perfectly on my white, so there's a little bit of white peeking out on this side. So I'm just going to trim that with my paper cutter. And now that I have it the right size, I'm just going to eyeball it a little bit so that I make sure that my frame is going to be centered on my Old Olive cardstock. And then my Whisper White is going to be in the right spot. So you can just move it a little bit until you're happy with how it looks. And once that's done, I'm going to take some dimensionals and put it on the back of my frame so that it'll pop right up and frame that horse perfectly, just like having him in a picture frame. He looks so good. We're going to take those backings off and now put that right on top perfectly. And there you go. What do you think? Let me know in comments. Give me a thumbs up. I would love to hear what you think, and if you are in love with this stamp set just like I am. Have a great day. Bye.